Hello Medicine Tribe. In this video, I would like to talk about my personal experience with seeking validation and understanding its connection towards self-love. I've been feeling for a really long time that declaring to someone, whether it's your friend or family, that, the root of your problem is that you just don't love yourself. I personally feel like that's really poor advice. I have always felt that. I just didn't know why. And then through my experience of going through my life trying to help other people, learning music, whatever, all of the expressions that make me a unique person has brought me to this point where I learned within my experience, and this is my truth, that my self-love was earned. And you could be thinking like, do you have to earn it, or should it be innate within us? Well, both are true. Coming to a point where I truly love myself. In all moments, 100% of the time? Of course not. There are always going to be blocks towards love of self, and they come up and they challenge us, and we break through them. But the overall energy behind love of self truly has come to the point of me expressing myself and me feeling the validation that that creates in other people through their experience of me, and then justifying to myself that I am now valid. I now have validity to love myself. It's kind of, if you perceive it through just a regular lens, it's very distorted. Why should we have to earn self-love when it should be innate within our beingness? Well, through my personal reflections, deep within, I have come to many conclusions about ancestral programming. The ancestral programming that we have from all of our ancestors influences our lives in many ways. In this particular way, we had to earn within tribes or within groups some kind of position that made us valid. And now our society does not require that, but it does not also completely require that. So that's why we can have the conclusion now that we shouldn't have to earn it, it should be innate within us. But if you truly tap into yourself, and probably if you're watching this video, you may feel like there are distortions to do with your self-love. So how can we create more energy behind the love of self without seeking validation? Isn't that the money question? Can we just contemplate on our experience and discover more self-love just by focusing on surrender, on love, on acceptance? Well, yes, of course. But that is still earning it. That is still validating yourself within your own personal experience of what self-love looks like. So for many of us, we feel like we need to get the job, get the house, get the girl or guy, make people proud, and then we can feel relaxed within our position because we are doing what's expected of us. But does that actually lead us to self-love? That's the money question once again. The validity that we seek on the outside, at some point we awaken to it and we go, okay, I don't really want to seek this validation. This doesn't feel good. I've done the things that people have told me to do. Some people would call that a midlife crisis. Who knows? But I've done all the things that people have told me to do, and I still don't really feel good about it. Now, that validation lens transitions from doing what other people want us to do to validating our own experience from what we find rewarding and what that mirrors into other people's experience of us. So ancestrally, we feel like we should do everything that everyone tells us to do, and that will make us feel good about ourselves. And on the surface level and on some chakra point, maybe that does work. But really, at a core level, that is one step. And then we go, what's the next step? The next step is really doing things that make you feel joy. And that might be contemplating on love, acceptance, and transitions of perspective that you can share with people, and they validate your perceptions, and therefore you uncover more self-love. That could be learning an instrument and expressing your love in that way. That could be expressing your wisdom, how I'm doing it now, in whatever way, sharing anything that you feel resonates within your heart. But usually it's also something that makes you feel a little bit scared. So it just so happens all of those things in our society that everyone tells us to do, those things aren't really scary. Like, some people have a fear of commitment and marriage and stuff, but like, at the end of the day, there's no impending doom there. There's just like, oh yeah, this is gonna make me feel happy and it's gonna feel good. And on some level, it probably does. But there are always next steps. Just like there is the next step of awakening out of the validation in which we seek in any way, because we already are. The whole point of this video is to kind of point in the direction of, you may be doing all of the things that make you feel valid and it's no longer working, and now you want to do things that resonate with your soul, and then you also may be doing things that resonate with your soul, and you go, is there something beyond this? Is there something beyond being of service to other people, where I deep down seek validation? That is always going to create a distortion of the reality that validation already is. See, the story, for me, of the wounded healer is not that I am only trying to seek to heal you because this wound in some way is, just a projection. That may be true, but the wound that we have within us, that we wish to transmute into a holistic being, is truly indicative of just karma. If I serve you, I serve me, for we are one. So if I try and seek to heal you, I am in turn healing me. That is karmic action. It is reaping what you sow. It is the idea, though, that we can project onto the external reality that this person is wounded, and this person is this, and this person is that, and I need to protect my energy, or whatever we get ourselves into when we go through trying to serve others. When we actually mirror the healing that takes place when we serve another being, we fully mirror it, it seals up that wounded healer. It validates that we are healed at some point. But it only validates our true healing when we are not feeling like the external reality needs to be fixed still. People over here on the earth are doing this still. That is still representative of the wounded healer. The validation of our true existence at a very core level is feeling validated means everything is perfect. That is the only perception that keeps us distorted. Keeps us distorted, thinking we need to seek validation, thinking we need to fix people, thinking we need to heal people, thinking that we are seeing anything other than that which we project onto the external reality is something that's within us that needs to be fixed or changed or, manipulated. So often we are doing things with the best of intentions, but we are manipulating or wanting to control the external reality. And when we finally rest in the perfection, the peace of the moment, of that we have already validated ourselves, then everything that mirrors back to us is an understanding that all beings have karma that needs to unfold, and we can support in any way that we wish to. But the way that validity, that validation within yourself will wish to serve is only something that feels good. Only sharing your own perspective as I'm doing now. You go, that doesn't drain me, that doesn't feel bad, that doesn't feel like I'm overexerting myself to a point where I feel drained. You will never feel drained. There is infinite energy flowing through you. It's only when our service gets distorted through seeking validation or seeking to fix another or a situation, that essentially we are always rooted in just a little bit of manipulation, of trying to go, can you just validate me? Can you just be a little bit more healed, please? And then I'll feel better? So, on that note, in full transparency, I am sharing this because I am figuring this out now. I do not have this figured out. When we share from our own perspective, even if I share that you need to be healed, I am only sharing that I need to be healed. So I'm sharing right now the validity I am witnessing as I perceive the external reality is a very beautiful thing. Am I going to be able to reside in it permanently? Probably not. But as this awakening comes through my experience, it just feels like the right thing to do to share it. At least in this moment, in this morning, feeling it here. If you received something out of this video, like or comment, please try to support this channel. I want to share my vibes with people. And if you want your vibes shared or anything, connect with me. We can share vibes, we can have conversations. If you want to ask a question, I love talking about things if people inquire. That's usually how my inspiration flows. But yeah, sending you lots of love.